Welcome back, Wrestle Nerds. Victor Villain here. Let's see who's making their way to the ring. Welcome back to Hughes, Pops, and Chairshots.
What you doing, yo? Yo, Vic, this ain't the first
Welcome
time
back to Hughes, Pops, and Chairshots. Wrestling's entertainment champions.
You can't see the screen, that's why.
Alright, bro. Yo, ruined the whole entrance.
The entire setup has been blown. Welcome back.
You Shockmaster? You just Shockmastered this whole shit.
right through the sheetrock.
Listen, man, the facts are we fucked up.
You know, shit gets botched from time to time, and you know, even the great Vince McMahon knocks over a couple coffee cups and shit on his way to the ring, or a couple quads, right?
Or a couple quads, right? And then it's not so much like accidents happen, but then is safety taken into consideration?
Is it?
Is that something that we talk about today? Because we know in pro wrestling that accidents happen, shit goes down. Nobody's saying that that's not an issue. But how do we react to those situations? Because lately we've had a bunch of people get hurt.
No doubt. And it sounds like you onto something that we gonna get into in a little bit. Sounds like we already started running the ropes though, right? Let's get in that cardio.
Absolutely. That's what you call a segue, my man. A
See,
segue.
man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is JP Savage speaking to you live, and telling you to please subscribe and like to Heels, Pops, and Chairshots, HPC Too Sweet on IG and Twitter. You already know, look under the dresser, on top of the cupboards, because we coming, baby. Yes.
And speaking of coming, baby, Dark Side of the Ring is on the way, ladies and gentlemen. Season 3 has been officially announced. How are we feeling about that? What do we want to see?
Excited.
Ooh, what do we want to see? I don't know, man. Like, they've done a lot. I want to see shit that I do not expect whatsoever. That's what I want to see. Like,
you know what I want to see?
I was excited about things like Chris Benoit and Owen Hart. Like, I knew they were coming, and I was like, all right, cool. I want this season to blow me the fuck away. Like, it's got to be big. I don't know. What do you think?
We got guys like the late Grizzly Smith that were interviewed for content. I think Jake Roberts and Eric Bischoff they revealed on the 83 Weeks podcast that they were also interviewed for some stories. So who knows?
And it could be their feedback, right? Their experience on somebody else's story. Doesn't necessarily have to mean it's about them, right?
Right, you're right. That's also
true.
Yeah.
But you know, does anybody know of any conspiracies or moments in history?
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think the executive producer of the Dark Side of the Ring was on Busted Open, I think Wednesday, and he spoke about he's teasing one of the episodes, the WCW event in '95 in North Korea, because that was one of the largest events, international events, held outside of the USA.
Sounds like a big draw event. Speaking of big draw, though.
Listen, you know what I'm excited? You know what I'm excited for? I want to finally find out the real story about between Matt, Edge, and Lita. So why don't they give us that on the Dark Side of the Ring?
I would love that.
I want to find out who was really putting it in the dark side. Let's see. Listen.
That's what Edge got his.
I want to know the story of the fake Razor Ramon and Diesel from their eyes, bro. One of them's American, bro.
Man,
tell the story how you got the call. How you got the call.
You're gonna be revisiting old wounds now with that.
I want to see Marty Jannetty after the window, after going through the window.
No,
it was all downhill from there.
We've been seeing it.
It's all downhill.
Yeah, apparently he killed a gay guy.
Yeah, that's allegedly.
Hey, allegedly.
Yeah, you gotta sprinkle them in, yo.
Sprinkle that in, kind of like WWE does with their old veteran talent. They just sprinkle them in here and there. Kind of like they're gonna do this November with the Dead Man. And the Undertaker is back. They're gonna sprinkle them in and just say, "Hey, it's your anniversary. Welcome back." Right? Give them a match.
30
Who,
years.
guys?
It's 30
Who's
years?
the next
Alright.
victim to
Alright.
the Undertaker?
Yo, can this be it though?
That's what we said last
Cause
time.
yo, is it money? Like,
That's
do we need
what
to
we
start a
said.
GoFundMe? Cause it's just it's hard to watch. Yo, like I love the Undertaker, like icon forever, one of the best to ever do it. I mean, his name is synonymous with wrestling, but you gotta know when to hang it up, man. And it's been too much.
What if
Way
he's
too much.
there? What if he's there to make an appearance and wave the crowd off, say that he's out, he's gonna retire, and the lights turn off, and up from the rafters we see a familiar face,
Oh, on heart?
and this sets something up for WrestleMania. What if?
Yo, this is like
That's
this
what
is like the
happened.
Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. It happened
Yo.
10 years too late.
For
10
real.
years too late, yo.
For
Like,
real.
I don't want to see this now. I don't want to see that. No.
You
No.
gotta give him a spot,
You don't want to see
though.
another
You gotta give him a
Boneyard
spot.
match?
No.
You
yeah,
got you
know
can
what? Yes.
at least
Yes.
a spot.
Let it
a
be.
spot.
Let it be a boneyard style match. In fact,
Yeah.
I would even say include a Bray Wyatt to carry the two of
Physically,
them. Yo, that
and just throw them in the grave.
Yo,
The
yo,
Fiend
imagine.
is on Raw now.
Yo, imagine if they go into the fun house and they have to have a match at when they were each at their peaks of their characters
They
against each other.
could do
So
that.
you see
Or
the
when they
purple
were
Undertaker,
other
the gray Undertaker, or they were other characters. Yeah.
They
That would
could
be
do
dope.
that.
That
Like
That's
purple
storytelling.
Surfer
Undertaker.
Sting. We get a Surfer Sting. out
Surfer
of it.
Sting. Yes, I'm down for that.
And
I'm down for that.
especially if that's it, right? Like if Sting doesn't wrestle anymore, right? Which he probably shouldn't. But if he could only have one more match, it can be a match like that. Like that John Cena Bray Wyatt match was fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, man.
But it was,
But it was
fun.
entertaining.
It was great.
It was
It
dope.
worked. It worked.
It was
I
so
think you
dope.
could probably kind of ease the satisfaction with people if you give them a type of match like that where you flashback to the old times.
You know
With
what's interesting?
CGI, you could do that shit, right?
Real quick sidebar, right? This MJF Jericho thing reminds me a lot of this.
How
Like,
so, sir?
We really enjoyed this Bray Wyatt John Cena segment, right? I think the four of us did. Joe did too, I think. Like everybody pretty much popped over it. It was a fun ass segment.
Anyone
Like,
who was a sound mind enjoyed that.
but it was not wrestling in the traditional sense. It was not a wrestling match. That was a bullshit Firefly Funhouse. Like it was not a match in the traditional sense.
Some would say mystical creatures are not wrestlers.
We've had
Some may
segments. Yeah, some maybe. I like
Shout
my
outs to the
sports
some.
style presentation with my mystical wizards defeating the undead fucking whatevers. Listen, man, we saw a lot of bullshit from the AEW side this week, right? The MJF Jericho like sing along, and they've gotten a lot of crap over their Mimosa match and like all the fun stuff that they're doing. Well, isn't that like the exact same fun stuff we like from everywhere else when they pull it off correctly?
That's the
WWE
difference,
doesn't
there, my
like
friend.
that.
Execution. That's the difference, yo. Look at a team like the Jets. Look at a team like the Giants.
But for what? Why would you say that? You could have gone the whole day. No mention of the Jets. There was no problems.
Talking
ain't my
about
fault you're a Jets
scripted
fan, man.
sports.
Ain't my fault. But listen, at the end of the day, you could develop the best play, but if there's no execution, ain't nothing gonna happen. And and the talents that we're seeing that are shining elsewhere, when they're given lemons, they're making filet mignon. They're trying to, the ones that succeed, like Kevin Owens, because it's terrible. That's why it works in AEW. They're doing it correctly. They're executing. They're putting
rare?
over. Is it rare?
The filet mignon, is it rare, medium well, or blue?
It's blue. It's
It's
blue. Just like your balls.
Elite Hotshot over here said the Firefly Funhouse match was garbage.
What?
You didn't like it? Oh, he didn't like that one.
I'll tell you what, the match was garbage.
Yes, of course.
the match.
Así viene el sandwich, man.
It was an entertainment ass segment. Like that segment was all about seeing John Cena lift, like be ridiculous, the Dr. Thugonomics. Like it was like all of that. It was all of that. It was not about a wrestling match. Nobody cared about the wrestling match per se.
That was an entertainment.
You realize this is the same guy that didn't die in a Hell in a Cell?
Ese mismo.
You know what I mean? Like,
Y le pegaron con el martillo.
Listen, there's a lot of matches in history that we're going to always enjoy and remember because of moments, right? And that's what that match gave you. It wasn't a wrestling match, a technical or in-ring prowess, but it gave you moments. And I mean, you got to see John Cena in NWO. You know what I'm saying? Like it was great.
Hey,
it was phenomenal. It's a memory that's always going to stay.
Pay to see that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like one of my favorite matches, or one of the matches we've talked about in the past, as far as being one of the craziest matches I've ever seen happen, was that Roddy Piper versus Goldust match when they were in Hollywood and they were outside and there was
that street fight,
the Bronco, the street fight.
That would never get over today.
It would not
anymore,
especially what it was.
You need a mask. You can't trust every little surface that you're wrestling on. It's dirty. It's not clean.
Hand sanitizer.
And you don't have Roddy Piper. That's
what were you doing? Yo,
that's the most important part.
What was that hand
right
motion?
There? Como fue? But you might also
hand
need
sanitizer.
You use hand sanitizer as lotion? That's safe.
I put it all over moms. Keep them clean.
Keep it clean, bro. You gotta keep it safe. How safety first. That's the key.
Si no se lavan el cu, I'll sanitize it first.
It seems like WWE hasn't been doing so, or at least trying to cover up, because
what you talking about?
Florida is doing an investigation on WWE locations such as the Performance Center and the Thunderdome and the Andway Center. So I was digging in deep, and my sources came to me because we got the satellite sources everywhere. Tu sabes.
How is it?
It seems like somebody complained. Some talent or somebody had started making some complaints about WWE not following protocols backstage, or maybe wrestlers not following protocols. Leads to an investigation.
Is this the same talent that had to cancel their Twitch?
Indeed
it is.
You think that's what it is?
What comes around comes around.
Paige.
Wow. Nah, she's killing it on Twitch.
So they joined a list of. It's not just them though. They joined a list of 17 other businesses that are also being investigated in the state of Florida.
Yeah, but guess what? They all work for the WWE. It's the tractors that they rent, the ring they rent, the company that has the ring, the company that does the pyro. It's all WWE.
Church.
WWE is
companies that deliver food to them. Those are all 12 businesses. That's it. It was wild.
But
crazy,
okay,
bro.
so what else do we gotta do though? That at this point, like, come on now.
Wear your mask.
It's too much. It's too much. You know what's funny? They won't wear the mask, but then they'll put their luchador mask on and go to the ring.
But they won't cut out the eyes. They cut out the nose, but not the eyes.
Shout out to Lucha House Party.
Oh my god. That's
Gran Gordo.
Gran Gordo, that shit.
Why was he using Becky's fucking mask is what I want to know. Why didn't he have his own mask? Like the back was just, that's how last minute this was.
Yeah, it was up in the last minute.
They were just
it worked though.
Go get Becky's mask. El Gran Gordo is a great name.
Hilarious.
I think that's what Pretty Chubby Flaco calls his penis.
Hey, it's like a soda can.
El Gran Gordo. I hope he wears a luchador mask too. It's probably ugly.
I don't squirt and tell, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Shout out to JJ. Yeah, they should have talked to Andrew Young. They didn't though. They probably not. They're probably avoiding that whole conversation.
You know who's avoiding the whole conversation? Did you guys see Austin Theory quit?
Yeah.
Yo, ¿qué pasó? Y Lee Hasha brought that up earlier too. He was talking about.
Did he quit or did he quit?
What's up with that? I don't know. I think Austin Theory is a hell of a talent, but they're just doing him dirty. he's getting lost in that pool of useless story written talent, I guess. Cause
maybe. But it's not
man,
good.
That shit ain't real, bro. Don't get worried.
It's not good when the announcers are saying he's too good to quit. It's not good. It's not. I don't see how this gets him over.
Maybe he joins Retribution. How about that?
Ooh.
That's a better idea.
It's better than whatever the fuck Retribution.
Retribution is too deep. They're too deep. They have too many.
Because guess what? The best thing they did with Retribution is give Mustafa Ali as the leader. And you know the second worst thing they did? Get squashed against the Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was awful.
Like why? You just discredited everything that it could have been. So something that was already shaky.
It looked like a horror scene. JP, no, tell me no. When the scene of the movie where Jason Voorhees gets cornered by like all the teenagers and shit, because they get ballsy, they got beard muscles.
Le cortan la cabeza.
Hey, off with their heads, right? That's the setting I got in the ring with the Fiend standing dead square in the middle.
I mean that's a lot, but I saw it was bad news for Ali. That's what
I love the beginning when they didn't make any contact. Bray Wyatt was completely unaffected. Right, Bliss was unaffected. They just disappeared. That shit was brilliant. I love that.
That was good. Yeah,
that was it.
And
yeah,
I said it too. I was like, yo, that should be it. They should not come in contact with each other. They're just gonna fuck each other up. It's not gonna work. Like
the payoff, bro. The payoff. We've learned from the best of the best. The payoff is worth waiting for. There was no need for those two characters to interact. Fuck up Retribution. You already squashed them enough. That's fine. But when it comes to Ali, you gotta wait for that one.
I still see Vince's old ways here. Like in Vince's mind, somehow it's okay that the Fiend waited to after the match and after they were beat up for him to take advantage of that.
But like there was no need for that.
Right, but in Vince's head, like that's so Vince booking.
See, the thing about Bray Wyatt and like how brilliant it is like the same way that they used to use managers in like the 50s and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like to just have the dude on the outside, kind of like just play mind games. And the bump is the big payoff, right? The big payoff is that eventually the Jim Cornette is going to take a freaking clothesline. The Jimmy Hart's going to get his ass whooped. Bobby Heenan's going to get knocked off the edge, right? Like, but they didn't really interact. Like, there was no physical altercation. And that's what Bray Wyatt should be here. There should be no physical contact. They can play with each other. Bray Wyatt's character lends itself to shit like that.
It does.
Appearing and disappearing, shit falling, and he's not around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't even have to come in contact. But now that's it. Like, now what? Now Retribution like done as hell.
Well, now get ready because we might see a match between the Fiend and T-Bar at Hell in a Cell.
Oh,
Prepárate.
Yo, you know what? You know what's the problem? Wait. You know when there's a problem? When I heard that T-Bar might be facing Bray Wyatt in Hell in a Cell. T-Bar. Dominic Dijakovic is a wrestler that I should be like.
Bless you, JP.
He's too much of a talent to be degraded to this point, bro. It's crazy. Because you know he's going to get squashed.
Nobody knows
he's squashed with his in-ring gear already.
Nobody knows that it's Dominic Dijakovic.
Oh, nobody knows?
Bless you.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, like nobody knows that, the killer in Friday the 13th is actually Jason's mother, right?
Not the
hey, don't tell me spoilers.
Not that
movie's been out since 1978, all right?
That teenager that went in there and trusted her ass, and she trusted her. She's like, oh, hey, Mr. Voorhees, yeah, I'll go back with you in the cabin. Not her. She didn't know. You see? Not everybody knows.
She knows she had that head in that fridge, huh? Yeah.
Oh my God,
she wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready.
You didn't know.
She was like, I don't want to see. No quiero ver. Speaking of quiero ver, one actor, Eric Andre, no quería ver, son. He was like, John, I can't see you, dog. Don't give me another concussion. He was stiffed by John Cena. Rumor has it. Rumor has it. But in reality, No, se cayó la vaina de la lámpara, de la vaina, de tiki-tang, y se
La
le fue
tubería,
el-
la tubería, la
He
tubería.
got a concussion, yo.
Y
He got
le
a
dio un
concussion.
chichón en la cabeza.
Oh, man. That's
He
pretty.
got a concussion, yo. How do you get a concussion?
Se
You know,
cayó.
that's got to be one of those things that, like, he probably, like, John Cena himself, like, and I was thinking about going back into the ring. I got a concussion from this fucking pole, fucking around with Eric Andre.
He's such a puss, man. What the hell, bro?
Oh,
That's such a
elite,
puss.
the big guy that was with AJ Styles, and fuck you for trying to make me repeat his name. He's the Nigerian wrestler. He's 7'6". He was the one that was the
No, he's
bouncer.
7'3", 7'3", 7'3".
How much-
Ese mismo también.
how much
Los
Did
did
you
dos.
measure from dick too?
Diablo, ya le dio tres hinches más.
Shout out to Nigeria. Many prayers up to Nigeria. Going through a lot right now, man. Prayers to all those people out there. Yo, he's the bouncer, bro. He was also a ninja. If you didn't notice, he was one of the
Yo,
Star Wars ninjas.
If you didn't notice,
If
what do
you
you
didn't
mean?
notice.
If you didn't notice,
Hey, bro.
If you didn't know,
Hey, Elite's asking who this guy is. You know what I mean? People didn't notice. Black is very hiding. He hides a lot. Height, weight.
Speaking of hiding,
Ooh.
hiding.
Ooh.
New Jack has
Focal.com.
been hiding.
Oh, my bad.
New Jack has been in hiding. Apparently, it's been issued. He issues a statement about his son, who's also a drag queen, known as Washington Heights. Vice actually did a profile on the person, and turns out it's New Jack's kid. But New Jack denies having a kid. But I don't know about that, because there's a video that leaked out, or a previous video where he doesn't say that very nice things about said wrestler. Oh,
and
not
he's
wrestler.
denying his son. That's
His
fucked
son.
up.
His son.
New Jack, don't be a dick,
What?
man.
Washington-
Come on, bro.
I mean, listen.
Washington Heights is the name now. Is the name of the drag queen.
So are we surprised? I mean, the New Jack has never struck me as a person that goes against his own ways and beliefs. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, he's stuck on his old ways. And this is within the black community, right? We're talking about that being homosexual is a big, big stigma. And that's a clear example of that. Because why shouldn't he embrace his son? And as his son mentioned, he cut him off 3 years ago when he found out about his life. Because he didn't want his fans to find out he was a drag queen. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. Shame on you.
Part of the old mind, state of mind kind of frame. I find
Bro, listen, you can't fall off raptures night after night in the bingo halls and not expect to damage some brain cells that can't let you progress. I mean, it's science, folks.
God.
Come on.
Dios mío.
But, hopefully, Washington Heights gets all the opportunities coming her way. Being the fact, not just the fact that she's, New Jack's son, but that they have the talent to do so, right? So hopefully that works out.
Well, she's an official editor for Wikipedia. And what's funny is that he once told her, I don't want any mention of you on Wikipedia because of the fact that, I don't want nobody knowing. And turns out she's an editor now.
Ooh. Interesting.
That is tough. Tough beans.
Hell yeah.
But moving
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If my dad said some dumb shit like that to me, and he was like, yo, I don't want you to fucking change my Wikipedia page because you're a freaking blah, blah, blah. What? I'd make it my life mission to be, that would be my profession. Oh, word? Look at tú querías. Oh, yeah, well, you said no to? I got you, my man.
I got you.
My title says Wikipedia page editor and commander-in-chief. First thing.
Oh, man.
Bam, yo, son.
New Jack was just trying to play it safe for his character, man. But safety. Speaking of safety, we're going to get into the bumps, man. Because what's bumping is going to be hot and sizzling with fuego topics this week. Safety first is a must in the wrestling ring. And if you want a good career and a everlasting one, long-lasting one to be exact, you're going to have to be safe. You're going to have to watch what you're doing. You're going to have to practice. But things happen, right? Shit happens.
Yo, what are you making pasta back there, bro? Get to the fucking point.
That's the point. We gotta be safe, right?
Lana went through a table again.
Yo. So AEW, right?
They're not safe.
They're not safe
At all.
After Taz calls WWE a sloppy shop, right? We've had a litany of injuries at AEW where like it makes you feel like they don't know what the fuck is going on or what to do, right? We had Matt Hardy, right, bust his head open, right, at the last AEW pay-per-view. We got now my man Reynolds in the middle of a match catches a leg to a face, I believe, and like a dual leg drop.
What makes you say they don't know what to do? Like,
because my man was out.
Yo, that ref never called up the X sign. No other refs never came out. The doctor never showed. The doctor was just chilling ringside.
So one thing we have to keep in mind too is that we have to not only look at the refs, but you also have to take into account the people that are in gorilla position, right? Because they're also in the ref's ear, and the ref is relaying the information, and they tell them what to do. So it could be maybe some inexperience in seeing how grave the situation is at the moment, and that lack of direction was causing what we've seen. It could be part of it because we saw it, right? As fans, we've been seeing this for such a long. And remember, we're seeing it from the perspective of fans. It's very different from seeing it from the perspective of production, right? So maybe we're used to it, but they're still getting used to that aspect of it. Maybe the refs do need a bigger voice in that call. I don't know. We have to get somebody like Bryce on the show to see what they have to say, or our favorite ref.
But yo, how often when something happens, man, do these guys just get up and be like, nah, am I? Don't do nothing. Like, yo, it's a hard gray area, man.
Yo, but like
the same thing in sports, right?
That's the thing, right? It happens in sports all the time. Right, people get hurt.
That's been Matt Hardy's career, bro.
People get hurt.
Oh.
It's not about avoiding injury. It's like, all right, injury happened. Reaction. What's the deal here? My man was a dead body in the middle of the ring, yo, while 4 other teams were like just crossing ropes all around my guy.
Yep.
Dude, like that's a problem.
But I understand that. That's just the show goes on. I mean,
but that's a problem that the ref can't pull him aside. His teammate Blade grabs him by an arm and just drags his lifeless body. I'm also blaming some of the other wrestlers in that ring. You kind of like the ref might be, close to where the middle of the action is and might not be paying attention for whatever reason. But yo, you got like 18 other people in that ring. Like somebody, like his tag partner, somebody's got to be like, yo, oh yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Especially Blade, who just so there was the scene where he's on the ground for mad long, and then Blade grabs him and drags him to the corner.
He drags him? I don't think you should be moving him, though.
Well, exactly.
Butcher. It was Butcher. Butcher was the one dragging.
Like, I don't think you move him. I think you move out the way, and then you're right. The ref got to make that call, and the ref doesn't even have to be involved. Like, make the call and then have other refs do it while the action and the focus is back inside the ring. Even though it won't be.
Or outside the ring.
It won't work. Right? Whatever. But, just move it to a different side of the outside of the ring, or a different corner of where they're at. I don't think you move them, though.
But remember, when it comes to a wrestling show, a card, right? Like, it's a performance. It's a production. So the idea is always, let's keep the show goes on. It's that same, like, acting, Broadway type of experience. And, like, in sports, somebody gets hurt, next person up. Let's get them off the thing, you know what I mean? But in wrestling, they're very particular about getting, like, when there's actual injuries, getting people out swiftly without nobody seeing. They don't want to see footage of it. They don't want that saved.
I don't care about that. Like, I don't care about. I'm not even saying stop the match. I don't think the match had to stop necessarily. Get him the fuck out of the way. Like, somebody check up on this guy.
Yeah, bro. Yo, listen. Yeah. If a match could stop because of a commercial, bro, we couldn't stop a match because somebody got hurt.
Right, and like, the match could finish. Just roll him out the way. Like, just like, all right, you all right, dog? Like, you still good? You still with us? Like,
you guys,
like,
You guys remember that incident where Kairi Sane suffered that concussion and Becky Lynch rolled her under the ring to get her out of harm's way? It's something similar to that. Like, why couldn't they just roll him out the ring and just get him out of harm's way?
Ring savvy, veteran.
Yeah, because Nick Jackson, he like landed on him when he did like a move.
Terrible, man, terrible.
Crazy.
Human beings don't deserve that.
That's the thing, right?
But then you got the Bucks out there too. Like, what happened with all that's a big, like,
you know, the Bucks. The thing about the Bucks is that they were in the center of the action. They were not.
It wasn't it wasn't up to them. It was around everybody.
It wasn't. They were okay.
They were the ones that had the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they had the spot. They were doing their job. I understand everybody in the ring is doing their job, right? First and foremost. But like, there are times where like you let down and you're like, yo, you good? Yeah, all right. And then like you kind of get back. And it happens in sports, right? It happens. Kobe did it to like Garnett and shit. Like everybody was kind of like, hey, all right, cool, we good, yo, let's go. All right, it happened. You're gonna tell me like nobody could have just like his own tag partner, Butcher, Blade, who dragged him, like nobody, not you. Nobody realized they were dragging a dead body.
Yeah. Listen, I blame that performer. You know why I blame that performer? Because they're so used to him selling so well that they didn't even fucking figure it out. They just thought he was fucking selling hard as fuck. They're like, Halloween Havoc is next week. We need to get him in the ratings.
He sold out. He sold out.
Hopefully he's good. That's what happened. Well, man. Yeah. Hopefully he recovers. It's sad. It's sad.
He had a rough night, man. AEW had a rough night. Ray Phoenix hurt his neck too with Pentagon in that match. But he worked through it. He just says it's sore, so maybe he lucked out too.
What sore?
His neck.
All right.
Yo, this guy, bro.
The good thing about Ray Phoenix, though, he was in the ring with somebody he knows. He's used to working with, alongside, against. So, you know, that's why they were able to finish the match. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, these two gentlemen have wrestled so much that they didn't even have to say words and they could communicate. So, thankfully, that's why he's probably healthier than the rest of the patrons we're discussing.
Word. Yeah. That familiarity. And the match, that was the match of the night. Pentagon and Phoenix. Pentagon and Phoenix. That shit was dope.
Yeah. Definitely, probably of all shows, to be honest, on Wednesday. It was better than any other matches in NXT, I would say.
Probably match of the week.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
This week was very entertaining, though. So it says a lot that you said that. But you're talking about match quality or you're talking about entertainment? Because that's kind of like a blurred line. And we're going to get into that. What's entertainment versus wrestling? The wrestling. How much have we been seeing? How much have you been seeing more wrestling lately? Have you been seeing more entertainment? And Bika Swai Porcus is all this stuff.
What?
Because the E in WWE stands for entertainment.
Así viene Sammy Swing.
Así viene Sammy. Yo, you want to be entertained ultimately, right? Like, do you want to watch UFC? You watch UFC. If you want to watch like fighting dudes, right? Like if that was your thing, like, I want to watch men and women fight. I watch UFC and other things on illicit channels.
And Impact, baby, because they got the best intergender division.
Oh, word! They actually have the balls to pull it off.
It will get there. It will get there. Trust me. When they're allowed to announce it like that.
Oh, shh. Don't tell nobody. But I forgot the fuck I was saying because you just.
Eso mismo. That's it. Intergender wrestling. If you want to watch UFC and intergender wrestling.
Speaking of wrestling, folks, Focal.com. You have the World Series happening right now.
That's what you were saying.
Happening. You have the NBA draft happening in a month. You got Christmas coming. You know Amazon packages are going to be delivered late. Get your stuff for now. Get your bobbleheads, your gear, whatever merchandise you may need. Focal.com, HPC10 is your discount code. You get 90% off. I'm sorry, 10% off.
90. Ay,
see, that's the marketing secret. And we got you. The
maybe you do get 90 though. Maybe you do get 90.
HPC10. you get that 90% on, baby, so you can get it. Let's go.
Maybe we
on.
did. Maybe we giving you the Steiner math discount.
No,
Only
we're
one
giving
way
them
to
that-
find out, baby.
We're giving them that 10% off so they can have it 90% on. That's what it is.
Right, baby.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Foco.com.
Check that out ASAP.
Aye.
This shit,
Oh.
JP.
HPC 10.
I
I
wanna
think
be
what he was
entertained.
trying to get into was,
That's
he wants to see. Well, what's entertaining?
You want to be entertained?
You guys are entertaining.
Are you
shit out
not
of me.
entertained?
You guys are like wrestling's entertainment champions. I swear to God.
Are we? Are we?
Yeah,
You're-
that's what I heard.
Listen. In order to
Time.
understand exactly what it is to mean to be entertained, you have to look at the definition. The definition of being entertained. And it is to provide someone with amusement and enjoyment. Therefore, anything can be entertainment as long as you're amused and enjoying it. Why do you think BDM has such a popular following?
Why is it always
Like,
texting with you?
listen.
Always.
At the end of the day, many of us now, people that are tuned in right now. Wait, I was about to say this, and I see somebody talking about
say this.
pop.
You see, you always
No. We know that it's all about entertainment. One of the eras that we enjoyed the most was the Attitude Era. Why? Was because of the performance that we had, the way they entertained us. When you saw Stone Cold come down with that beer truck, you know what I'm saying? You saw Kurt Angle with the milk truck. You know, like you took a badass moment and you satired it, and it was still a cool ass moment. Like it has a place in wrestling when it works. When it works.
What was some of the best or most memorable? How about let's do that? What was some of the most memorable of those bullshit ass entertainment moments? Right off the bat.
MJF and Chris Jericho had a dinner last night, and that's I immediately remember that shit. So let's talk about that.
Yes, it was grand. It was grand. They've given us something I have never seen in wrestling before. Two alter egos. One who resembles the other so much, and they're pointing it out throughout every syllable they're spewing. And they put on a musical and a dance number. Like this is the slowest burn to a feud you've ever seen in your life. And it's magnificent. It is magnificent. And you know why I know it's gonna be magnificent? Because Chris Jericho's going along with it. Like he's all in. He just sang a musical. That means he understands how big this could be. Right? So I'm excited. They just took shit to another level. And that's what it's all about. That is entertainment. Because are we discrediting any of those performers in the ring because of that segment?
Hell no. But that excitement, it's kind of hard to match it, right? What match can you think of that you were watching and it gave you that same or equivalent excitement? And you was like, just because of the match, like, holy shit. I'll tell you right now, I tell you right now, I just watched it like 2 days ago. And not funny enough, I was like, damn, what match can I watch to get me hype or whatever? I want to get hype. Shinsuke Nakamura's first match at NXT versus Sami fucking Zayn. I watched that fucking match and it is fucking bomb. His first debut, nobody's seen him ever. That crazy ass entrance. The only thing that would have been sweeter was if the audience was already singing along with that theme, with the that whole shit. That would have made it even that much crazier. But entrance alone, crowd already chanting holy shit," before the match even started. Then the match. I don't think Shinsuke's ever had another match better than that one since he's even made the jump to the main roster.
Yeah.
I'm not even putting AJ Styles in the WrestleMania match with him. Still not as good as Sami Zayn's match with Nakamura.
Well, you know, when you're talking about this MJF and Chris Jericho match, though, we haven't seen a match, and there's no conversation of a match yet. It's a slow build to that, obviously.
Right.
What I think of is the work being put into a feud. So unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, fortunately, the person that comes up is Chris Jericho many times, because you told me, give me a match that reminds me of something like this. Think about Chris Jericho, CM Punk. Think about Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels. Think about Chris Jericho versus almost anybody you give him.
Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens.
No. Well, I'm
Chris
not saying
Kevin
like
Owens, right?
I'm not saying what makes you like reminisce of another similar situation. I just meant the reaction is what I meant. The reaction you got from watching that MJF and Jericho segment.
That's what I'm talking about.
Have you gotten a reaction from watching a specific match because of the quality of the match?
No, because the match you're talking about had no promo to it. You just said the first time anybody saw.
No, I'm not talking about a match between MJF and Jericho. I'm just talking about how the reaction of the excitement to their promo in general, just the segment.
Nakamura versus Shinsuke had no promo, my man. You just said it was the first time in the ring.
Right, but when I watched that, I got that excited, and the result of the match had me at that level. That I'm assuming you were at that level with the MJF promo with Jericho, right?
Yo, when the fuck did we get ice cream, bro? What are you talking about?
I got ice cream yesterday, bro. That was
yesterday.
Know
why? Because it was your birthday weekend, bitch.
I got the extra whipped cream.
And that's the thing, Vic, is that it's a much easier conversation to remember what your most memorable moments in wrestling were.
Okay.
And it's much harder to remember the matches.
It's fact.
That's true. Okay, I can see that.
Moments. It's all about
moments.
I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Think about like WrestleMania 17, right? My favorite shit and my favorite match of all time, right? Stone Cold Rock for that title. The match was a great sloppy mess. I loved it. It was because it felt like a brawl. It was great. And
you ruined that match for me. I never noticed none of that shit until you came along and pointed it all out.
I thought it was brilliant though. I thought it was brilliant though, in how sloppy it was, because it's like it felt like fighting. It felt like play fighting with your brother or some shit, right? Like you're not gonna do the moves perfectly. You're like mushing them into the pillows and shit. You're like, fuck you, dude. So the whole point of that whole thing is that at the end, you remember Stone Cold going with Vince and saying, damn, that was the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The match,
that was a big moment.
You remember that match's perfection because of that moment.
Yep. But what was a very crucial part of that is the build up to that feud. And that's not the build up to that main event. You're talking about the build up entirely throughout their feud, right? Because you talk about the year prior when The Rock went up against Stone Cold again, you know what I mean? And every time they've been able to build that feud, that's why they were one of the most favorited rivalries, right? And feuds in wrestling history because of the program they were put together. Think about that interview that they had for WrestleMania 17 and backstage, and they're talking about like you can't. That was so raw, so organic. It was so dope, and you can tell it was ad-libbed because these are two men that knew how to do it and knew how to do it well. That's what sold the match. The match, what happens in the ring, unfortunately, in that moment is so irrelevant because it's a blood feud at that point. There's not a wrestling match. When you get a feud built that tightly woven, it's a blood feud. Like, for example, Rhea Ripley and Raquel right now, and Halloween Havoc, they're not going to have a patty cake match. They have to have a blood feud because they're about to face off, and they've been coming at each other every week. So you expect them to just go off. If there's no technical wrestling occurring, it shouldn't be the case. Because then at that point, you're selling us garbage.
And listen, and it's not like there's not good matches. There are good matches. Like, it's not like there's no good matches. All right, there are excellent matches. But the excellent matches usually boil down to moments in the match. Moments in the game that changed everything. All right? That shit is... That was the game changer, like those specific little, and you know what? To JP's point, right now this MJF Jericho shit seems corny as hell to you if you don't like it. Yo, Ricochet, you out?
Ricochet.
Hey.
Hey.
All right? It might seem corny to you, but you know what? When this gets chopped up in a freaking throwback to a build-up to like the greatest match of all time between Jericho and MJF, that's gonna be a moment you remember. That corny ass, happy-go-lucky, friendly singing song and dance that they did. That's what you're gonna remember. That's the point.
Think about this picture. I want you to envision this, right? Because the word memories has been mentioned a lot. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to picture when this match is actually gonna occur. We're talking about a year from now. It's not happening next week. It's talking about a year from now. And the promo video to that match on the biggest show on the biggest stage is going to include that moment. It's going to include that moment. It's going to show you how he idolized Chris Jericho, how he gave him gifts, how he befriended him, how they had rare steaks together, how they put on a musical. And then it's going to show you how they finally have him turn. But guess what? It's not going to be MJF that's going to turn on him. It's going to be Chris Jericho that's going to turn on MJF. Because he sees that he's going to steal his limelight. He is the new Chris Jericho, and he don't want that shit to happen. And that's when you have that match, and that's when you have that investment in that feud. That's beautiful right there. Sign me up for that shit 7 days on a weekend.
Take my money.
See, all of it, all my funds, all the savings.
jpsavage@gmail.com. Hit me up if you need your writing.
Is that your OnlyFans account?
Shout outs to the OnlyFans and our Only Patreons account too. You can show all the ones that you already know that.
Oh, Vic, you were asking about matches, and we got Demon King versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title as a memorable moment/match. We got the longest title reign in Universal title history. And then we got a couple takeover matches. We got Chicago 2, Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano in the Chicago.
Facts.
Every time they tangled was great.
Yeah. But does anybody remember? And do they remember the 15-minute first round match that they had at the Classic, the Cruiserweight Classic?
Yes.
I still remember that shit. And that was a teaser. If that wasn't the teaser foreshadowing their entire fucking feud, I don't know what is. That was a perfect way to do it.
Ciampa Gargano at the Cruiserweight Classic.
That was like, what, 2015, 2016?
16, I think. And it was the last match of the first
I'm only 18 years plus. So, just in case. I'm only 18 years plus when they ask me how old I am. Just
okay, that's dope.
Years
I will hope so.
But you think about moments. I mean, like one match that just comes to mind, especially with Halloween Havoc on the corner. Jake the Snake Roberts versus Macho Man. Think about that feud. Think about how interwoven it was. Think about the spots. One, the Undertaker interjecting himself in the party itself, right? Sent by Jake the Snake. Him opening the present, the snake coming out. That bit when he's stuck on the ring and the snake is actually biting him, and we come to find out that shit happened on for real. It wasn't supposed to happen that way. And you see that snake gnawing on Macho Man's bicep. Like, I can never erase that from my memory. Do I care what happened in that match? No. Remember the moments. You remember the moments that capture your attention, right? So it is entertainment. Wrestling is entertainment. Entertainment is a big part of it. It just so happens it has to be the right balance. It has to be the right balance. That's all. And AEW has done a pretty good job of finding that right balance thus far, but they got to stop with the injuries.
Word. Like, if y'all thought this was corny, and petty and like out of the game and like it's ruining wrestling, like you realize there was a zombie wrestler that fought with like his demon brother and they like lit each other on fire. And then he joined with like some spastic ass Chihuahua from DX. And then they were like a legitimate tag team. And then he joined with like another spastic ass vegan. And he was like his Team Hell No partner. And now he's the mayor of Knox, Tennessee. Like, that's a real thing that happened. I just said real fact.
That is continuous booking at its finest.
It sounds kind of booked. I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, if all of that sounds corny to you, like, then all right, then you're watching wrestling. Like, yeah, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
This is wrestling. Yo,
and
the gobbledygooker came out of an egg.
You did, bro.
And Mae Young gave birth to a hand.
And it was
That's
almost
a moment.
Undertaker.
That's a moment.
It was almost Undertaker.
Yo.
It was almost Undertaker. JJ brings up Bound for Glory. Folks, make sure to tune in to our official pre-show for Bound for Glory, which is going to be an amazing show. A lot of surprises coming this Saturday.
And it's going to be gigante ese sábado.
And you know, once you are able to be oriented on what's happening on Saturday for Bound for Glory, make sure to tune in on Sunday. Yes, on Sunday, because we're doing overtime, baby. For the Hell in a Cell pre-show by us, the bad guys. JP Savage will be in the house. Missy will be in the house. Pretty Chubby Flock will be in the house. Victor
and I'm going home.
Maybe even old school Joe.
Who knows?
I'll go weekend of wrestling, folks. Victor Villain, it seems like we got our birthday presents a week too late.
That's all.
But I'm okay. I'm not
mad.
Buddy. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it.
Hey, we getting it. It's all month, baby. We celebrate all month.
Halloween Havoc.
Oh,
that's gonna be this month.
We gotta talk about it because Halloween Havoc, is I think a favorite of all of ours. Like growing up in terms of like a set design and like the excitement around it. It always was a pay-per-view that kind of stuck out for WCW in my mind. And a lot of good matches came out of Halloween Havoc. One of our favorites, right? Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio Jr. A beautiful, beautiful match. And you'll be able to catch with us, the bad guys, on Patreon whenever we decide to release it. You'll know.
It's happening sometime.
But the first thing you're going to see there is an exclusive look at us hanging out with the bad guys. You guys hanging out with us watching Grapple Theater, a brand new show on that said Patreon.
Hey. That shit ain't free, bro.
Better subscribe.
I'm back, but you gotta hit me with one of those, baby.
Hey, Batista, give the people what they want, bro.
Give me what I want.
Give me what I want. Hey, give us one of these.
Ese mismo.
Your bald ass head.
What's going on here?
I think you even make it look nerdy, yo. He said,
Pandemonium. Halloween Havoc is gonna be way more entertaining than that, though. I promise. Yes. I promise this. I promise.
There's one outlier. There's one outlier. Are they controlling the wheel, or is the wheel just spinning on its own? I need to know, damn it. That
bitch has a motor. She has a motor.
Yo.
I thought Shotzi was the one spinning the wheel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she can
spin my wheel.
How do we mute his mic, yo? How do we mute that shit?
Is that the button that says mute?
Oh, no, I don't speak French.
I only mute.
The wheel, I love the wheel idea, even if it's gimmicked or not. So, like, we got to evaluate what's on the wheel.
Oh, I know.
On the wheel.
Yo, I feel like we've been robbed, yo.
Why?
What are you talking about? The wheel? We didn't rob the wheel.
No, they robbed us. Didn't we have a wheel? I thought we had a wheel of heels.
Oh.
Once upon a time.
Listen, folks. If you ever want some advice from a great entertainment business like ourselves, we learn from mistakes and make sure to remember that you need to copyright things because the E definitely watches our product and we used to do a little show called Heels and Wheels and Shotzi knows about it, but
and
it's okay. It's okay because you know what? It's a blessing. It is a blessing because we have a potential right now. Because of that, we have the potential to see a pay-per-view or at least a show, a beloved show, a show that we have memories, nostalgic memories, great production, something we looked forward to. We're actually seeing it, and we're seeing it with the right brand because the right brand is NXT. If you look back, NXT in your house, banger. If you look back, NXT War Games, banger. If you look back, it wasn't Bash at the Beach. It was, fuck, I always fucked this up. It's not
American Bash. The Great American
Great
Bash.
American
Great
Bash.
Great
Bash.
American Bash.
NXT
There we
Yo,
go.
everything is
has
bash.
good-
Everything is bash, American, and great. Like, what the fuck? Like, in every other pay-per-view.
This is
Bash
America.
American Great.
It's America.
Better than Great Balls of Fire,
I guess
right?
it does make
That
us
is
the
better than
wheel
Great Balls of
experts,
Fire.
right? Like, who better
Listen.
than to judge wheels than us?
Why Jerry
Right?
Lewis? Why Jerry Lewis? Why?
Beakus.
Because why? So on this
That's
wheel,
why.
we got a coal miner's glove on a pole match, a blindfold match,
And it's not Bagwell's mom.
Ooh,
Wow.
a casket match. You
Esa
think we're gonna
tipa.
get a casket tonight on Halloween?
Yeah.
Havoc?
Oh yeah.
Taker.
Oh yeah. Casket's coming. That's the simplest one they could do.
Tables,
Come on, man.
Ladders and skulls. We
Fuck
got a
it.
What is
biker's chain match. We got a
Okay.
bird
Well, how they
alive
gonna-
match.
how are you gonna do that one?
You need a
Which
biker's
one?
chain-
Which
That
one?
one he said, the buried alive one.
Bro, I told you, nobody's in the arena, bro. They can figure it out. They'll put a cardboard over it. It's
Nope.
fine, bro.
You're gonna see the dirt, bro.
I have
Not
more
necessarily
concern.
the
I have more
dirt.
concern about where they're gonna get a coal miner's glove. This shit is in Florida. Ain't no coal in Florida.
Oh, Miners Club.
Come on, man.
What?
You should have
is
put a coconut
drinker-
on the pole. God damn it, you in Florida.
No,
A
what's
drinker
a
street
chamber of
fight.
horrors? What is that? What is a chamber of horrors?
I feel like that's probably like a mirror house. Like a match inside like a mirror house. Like a bunch of mirrors.
Okay.
I thought that's what the Devil's Playground would be.
Oh no, the Devil's Playground is just straight fire.
Oh, but my personal
And like a
favorite,
bunch of
Boiler
like
Room
double-ended
Brawl.
strap-ons and shit.
Ooh, Boiler Room Brawl. That's gonna be fun. I just don't know what that is.
Wrong.
Weapons Wild.
Weapons, wow, what is that?
That's
I think Rihanna's coming out with some whips and chains. That's what's happening.
Ay, Dios mío.
You're gonna see like pumpkins being thrown, broomsticks,
Candy corn.
Oh yes, throw
Nobody-
every piece of damn
nobody eats
candy
that
corn.
shit.
Nobody eats that shit.
The one thing that the only concern I have about this wheel, I love the concept and I hope that we're able to see some dope matches. The one concern I do have is that I've seen them do these gimmick type of things for holidays. We've seen it on Raw and SmackDown and it doesn't go well. So I hope that they still remain pure and true to their NXT ways and it does actually work. Because it would be a shame. It'd be a shame and be a win for AEW, honestly, if they flop on this.
You think there's a chance for that?
There's always a chance when it comes to the E. But it's NXT, so I have higher hopes. If this was SmackDown.
What matchup are you guys most excited for this week? It's a kind of stacked card as usual.
I mean,
Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest.
Again?
Is this like their fourth time wrestling?
I thought the Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis match was already booked. Like the stipulation was already booked, wasn't it? Wasn't he interviewed? It was a horror match.
Haunted House of Terror or some shit like that.
Okay, yeah, because I don't see that written in my notes here, but I mean, I think that one was good. That was like already. That's not gonna see the wheel. So not every match is gonna see the wheel.
Last time we saw that shit, it was atrocious. It was that Orton Wyatt thing that they did. It was
man, JJ saying that this debate is giving SNL material for sure. Oh man, I can't wait. I have that shit recording because this has to be entertainment, right? Entertainment. That's what we're talking about. Make sure to tune into our Shooting the Issue with Puff so you can find out what we think about the debate.
Man. Shout out to my boy Puff, man. And shout out to Izzy too, man. These Shooting the Issues are dropping soon. Stay tuned for those, man. They coming.
Let's talk about the HPC of the week.
No. He had the man asked a question. I need to give him a fucking answer, right? He asked, what match are we looking forward to when it comes to Halloween Havoc? And I was gonna say Candice LeRae, Io Shirai. Once again, these are two women that have put on classics. No, I'm not as tired of it as I am the Johnny Gargano Damian Priest because it's been spread out. It's been spread out.
How
But
spread
remember, all the women are hungry. Somebody's gonna interfere in this match. But the next thing that has me more excited is the conclusion of WWE NXT last night. When you had Orny Lorcan, Danny Burch win the tag titles from Breezango with the help of a punter, a kicker, a Pat McAfee.
Mr. Irrelevant? Oh, my bad. No,
Listen, this is exciting, bro. You put a mouthpiece like that with two workers like Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch, bro, like that could work. That could work. And that means they're coming after Undisputed. So I know that's gonna play a role some way, somehow next week on Halloween Havoc. I'm intrigued to see how.
I hope so, because they don't bring them up like that. Like, don't finish NXT like that, like hot, and then don't include them in fucking at Halloween, because right now they're not even on the card.
Once again, we're talking about NXT. Right,
JP. So would you say? So would you say that he's your heel of the week, Pat McAfee?
Oh, absolutely, especially when he says, "And that's undisputed." Like you have to put him as the heel.
He's in good hands, man.
No, the biggest heel of the week is the chef that prepared that red steak for Chris Jericho and MJF. That shit was blue.
That's what he ordered, bitch. That's what.
Shout out to Belmont.
Listen, there are laws and policies. Laws and policies, goddammit. Damn. Yeah, they pay me by the word. Read the fucking contract.
How about
I'm trying to get paid.
Are you not gonna use Jericho and MJF for your pop mischief this week?
Yeah, duh. That is my pop of the week. But I gotta
go right ahead.
Because we all know how great that was. That was dope. That was great for wrestling. But Kingston on the mic this week was dope. Okay. Right? I don't know if I'd call him heel of the week, but he was dirt. As soon as I saw him, I was like, ooh, he got my attention.
He's must-see TV.
It was crazy. EC3 popped into ROH this weekend.
Facts. That's dope. Good to see him busy. It's good to see him
ROH this weekend. I didn't know they were doing stuff. So
welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Okay.
How you doing? You know what caught my attention this week? Tony Schiavone. So he's
getting whacked.
Yeah, not this week. That was last week. That was great too. In the middle of the match with Britt Baker, he's talking about her. He calls her a dominary bitch. I just found that hilarious. Bro. No shame in that.
No shame.
He's really comfortable doing that.
Hey,
he spit that out real quick too.
And it was so smooth.
So it's because she pulled that stick, that tape off really fast, my man. You know what my pop was? A Gran Gordo coming out, and then the Lucha House Party coming out to help out. That shit was hilarious. And no, it wasn't the Conquistadors. It was not the Conquistadors. Because if it was, I would not be happy. I would not be happy. But it wasn't the Conquistadors.
Yo, how about New Day spreading their seed?
Oh.
All over both channels.
Yo, how about Mark Henry and Big E without a shirt on the Thunderdome, supporting the guys? Like, put on a shirt, Big E. Why you home without a shirt? Yo?
Another big pop was that match, right? Ray and Penta. This shit was dope.
That shit was dope.
Pointed it out. That
match
shit
of
was
the night.
Fire ass match.
How about I dampened the mood with a chair shot, and I mentioned Mischief's boy, Mr. One Brett, the Hitman Hart.
Whoa.
Ya, tigre. Ya, loco.
Isn't that Victor Villain's favorite wrestler?
Yo, I can't even defend you, my G. Holy crap. Diablo, if you're not talking about Goldberg, you're talking about Jake Roberts, and then you bitching about Seth Rollins. Yo, coño, cállate, manito. Yeah.
What did he say? What did he say? That it was so wild.
He was bitching about chops this week. He said they don't belong in the business. Then he was also saying something about Jake Roberts where he's not a real wrestler. But then also Jake Roberts did come back. He calls him the worst world champion. I think he took one from your notes, Mischief. He called him the worst world champion ever.
That's tough.
It's just, oh man, just shut up, bro. Damn.
Siempre la caga, bro. Yo, Bret Hart.
Guys, if you're a loyal follower of the product, you know I have said many times here before, please let's stop giving him a mic. Please let's stop interviewing him. He moved to Hawaii with his wife to get away from the limelight. Let him live. If you ask him questions, he's going to answer it. He's going Cena, guys. Leave him alone. Déjalo tranquilo. Don't put him in a legend's house. Leave him alone. You saw what happened in Legend's house. They should let him alone too. Like, guys, let's let him rest. He's retired. Of course he's going to answer a question if you ask him. Yo, there's a lot of new talent you can ask questions to, yo. A lot of new talent. Ask them questions.
Puff and Izzy.
That's right.
And I think that's all the damn time we have for you folks this week. I don't care where you got your fix from, because I know you're going to catch both them STI interviews, and I know you're going to subscribe and like and all that stuff. But pretty sure, why don't you tell them how else they can show love to the bad guys?
Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at HPC2. Sweet! And on YouTube, Heels, Pops, and Chairshots. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hey.
Peace.
And just so you know,